Hello guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video on this channel. You might have found this video from my blog. Well, why did I want to make YouTube videos now? Because I wanted to switch it up a bit and see which one works better, because I feel like I cannot put my personality fully into my blog. You know, it's really hard to express your emotions and express how dramatic some stories are and so on via merely words. And I feel like it's probably a bit easier to do so with words and body language and gestures and facial expressions and different tones and so on. And yeah, I feel like it will be a bit more engaging and entertaining to just express what I want to say, but via video form. So this is just a tryout. I don't know if I'll continue doing this. Maybe I will go back to my blog eventually. Let's see. But if you do like this type of format, please show me by either commenting on this video, commenting on the blog post where you found this video, or simply by subscribing to this channel maybe. Yeah, so okay, let's stop rambling and let's just dive into the topic of this video. So today I'm going to talk about how I eventually ended up in Germany. Now today I'm not going to talk about my master program yet. This probably will be another video, but I'm just going to tell you the story leading up to my master program. So how I eventually chose this master program in Germany and how I eventually wanted to stay in Germany and probably have a career here. Yeah, so it all started back when I was in university, back in 2013, I think. At that time, I wasn't doing much academic-wise. I was studying in National Zhengzhi University in Taiwan. In Chinese, we call it Zhengda. And I was studying, I was majoring in diplomacy. And at that time, because I got out of high school, you know, I was super hardworking in junior high school and high school, and in university I just wanted to enjoy my freedom and do what I want and do what I haven't had the chance to do in high school. You know, I didn't get to be in the band in high school, I didn't get to join some dancing clubs in high school, and I want to do all of them in university. So back then I was breakdancing, I had a band, I was singing, and I had a lot of activities going on, and I didn't really care about my future. And not that going on exchange is a form of caring about your future, but it's probably something more beneficial to your future, you know? So yeah, so back in 2013, I see that some of my friends are applying to go on exchange. I have a best friend of mine, she applied half a year earlier than me, and I think that's one of the reasons why I eventually applied. Yeah, so to apply to go on exchange, you have to do 3 things in my school. First, you need a good TOEFL score, which I eventually did the TOEFL test and I got quite a good TOEFL skill. Oh my god, TOEFL score. Oh, bad start. Yeah, and secondly, you need to give in your grades, like your average scores in university, which for me wasn't too good. But thirdly, you have to have an interview, and they will also score you for this interview, and these 3 things will eventually sum up to a certain grade that you will have, and then with this grade you will have a certain ranking in the school. Yeah, and according to this ranking, you can choose the exchange school that you're going to go to. I hope this is not too confusing. Yeah, so eventually, if you didn't understand that, just forget about it. But eventually, I was ranked 20th out of the 100 and something applicants in my school to go on exchange. So we get to fill out the sheet, this kind of like a wish list. You have to kind of write, I think, the top 8 schools that you really want to go on exchange to. And yeah, and I remember back then, I really wanted to, I mean, I didn't really have a particular school that I wanted to go to, but I have a particular place that I wanted to go to, and that place is Paris. It's not Germany. Yeah, I remember I was first in Paris when I was 15. I was with this kind of educational study summer camp thingy. In Chinese we call it, in Mandarin we call it 游学团, you know, 语言游学团. So basically you go on this camp to learn language, but actually not really. You get the opportunity to live somewhere else, you know, across the seas, and it's super cool and you just have fun there. Anyways, at the end of this camp we went to Paris for we went to France actually, including Paris. In total we did, I think, a 7-day trip in France, and I think we stayed in Paris for 3 days or 4 days, I don't remember. But basically I remember that I loved Paris. It was a dream come true for me to be there when I was 15. We went to the museums, we went to the Eiffel Tower, we walked on the Champs-Elysees, and it was just beautiful. We went to the Lido, this place. There are like 2 main places where they have those, you know, those shows, those girls dancing, you know, topless, and like sparkles and champagne. Yeah, we went to Lido and it was just so fancy and I loved it so much and I wanted to go back so much. Therefore, I remember for my exchange wish list, the top priority was to go to Paris. I think I chose 2 schools from Paris. I didn't care about their rankings. I just wanted to live in Paris for half a year, and that was just be a dream come true for me. But eventually I think Paris was a really popular place to go to. So even though I was top 20 of my school, I still didn't get to go to Paris. And I remember, like, after Paris, my wish list, I just put random schools, you know. The school after Paris was Frankfurt School of Finance and Management, and at that time I didn't do any research about the school. I just thought that, oh, it's in Frankfurt, it's someplace that I've heard of, it's someplace that sounds, you know, modern and civilized and sounds convenient, and it's in Germany, which is a cool country also, probably. After Frankfurt School of Finance and Management, I filled in some schools from Czech Republic and some school from, I don't know, Spain. I think I even filled in a school from Canada or something. Yeah, so it was really random. So it's completely by chance that, you know, I ended up in Frankfurt School of Finance and Management. Yeah, so eventually I found out that I wasn't accepted to Paris. I was a bit sad because, like, I even bought like those French learning books, you know, just kind of self-learn a bit of French. I even tried to self-learn a little bit, which was a complete fail, but yeah, so eventually I accepted the fact that I had to go to this school instead of Paris, and my parents were super happy because, especially my mom, she really wanted me to go to Germany because she thinks that Germans are super organized and super disciplined, and I can probably learn something good from them. So I went on exchange to Frankfurt, and I had the craziest days of my life, and I loved it. I remember pulling my 30-kilogram suitcases up to the dorms and, you know, opening the door to my super shitty room, but I loved it so much. I finally had my own room. I finally had like the chance to kind of party and experience like those American school lives, you know, kind of living with a lot of people and having a lot of flat parties and so on. Yeah, I remember I had my first shot in Germany. Like, I had my first shot in the Frankfurt Museum Festival. It was a Jägermeister shot. Jägermeister shot. And it wasn't too good, but I was thrilled. Yeah. So exchange went on. I didn't really study too much, as per usual. I didn't study too much. I was traveling, but I did notice when I did go to class. I mean, I did go to class most of the times. Yeah, but I did notice when I went to class that the people in this school have a really good foundation, like a really good knowledge foundation in whichever field they are specializing in. So either in finance, or some people doing international business or management or whatever. Yeah, they had a really good foundation, and they all speak really good English, and they seem to have very good career outlooks. So some of them are either doing a really good internship in some big banks, or they are already signed to a contract for future employment in some banks and so on. Yeah, so I thought that, like maybe this school is a good school. No, maybe it's a good school. And then during the end of exchange, I started hearing people applying to this school. And like at first I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna go home, and continue doing my diplomacy degree and eventually graduate, and then I'm gonna try and find some kind of job, but I didn't want to be a diplomat, so some job that still needed my skills somehow. I don't know which job. Yeah, but then like eventually I kind of gave it a thought and thought that, or maybe I want to study here in Germany. Like maybe it will be a good career change for me, to have like no really good hard skills to like doing something in finance. Yeah, so some of our friends started applying and I also looked into it, and I eventually decided that I want to apply. And I thought that Frankfurt is a really international city, and it will be a cool place to spend at least 2 years of my life doing my master's in, or maybe eventually even have a career here. Maybe. I had no idea back then. I didn't even know that I would get accepted. So yeah, but I did apply. I did plan to apply anyways. So I remember before we left to go home from exchange, I remember me and 3 of my best friends went to a bar on the 22nd floor in Frankfurt. This bar is called 22nd Lounge and Bar or something like that. So basically you take this elevator, go all the way up to the 22nd floor. 22nd floor is quite high in Frankfurt. Only the banks, like only the big banks building will go above 22 floors. So up there you see only the big banks around you, and you see like the skyline of the city. We went there during the night, so we saw the city lights. It was amazing. And we were just having our cocktails and talking about our future, and we started to discuss like what's our goal for like the coming year or something. One of my friends said she wanted to stay here for another semester for exchange and find a job here. I mean, not like a permanent job, but like a practicum, an internship here. Another girl said that she wanted to eventually be accepted by Frankfurt School and do her master's here. And I also said that I eventually wanted to be accepted by Frankfurt School and also do my master here. And yeah, and I went home back to Taiwan, and I did my GMAT, did my interviews and so on, and eventually I got accepted. I mean, it was super random, but I did, and it was super random, but it's one of the best choices of I mean, I don't know if it will be the best choice of my life, because I don't know what will happen if I did something else, but it definitely is a decision that shaped my life. Yeah, so this is just the story. This is the simple story of how I ended up in Germany. It's just super random, sometimes you have to make impulse choices and it will just take you somewhere. Life is incredible. Yeah, this is just my story. I'm not here to give tips or something in this story, but I thought that for someone who is going through similar choices, going through similar crossroads in their lives, probably you'll find my experience a little bit helpful, I don't know, somehow, or at least you'll find this entertaining. Yeah, so yeah, that's the end of today's video. I will definitely do more content that's a bit more dramatic and a bit more informative in the future. This video is just to try out. Please, again, let me know if you liked it, or if you prefer just my normal writing type of blog posts. And in case I decide to continue doing this, then I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye.